he used to have these boxing matches, particularly during the Tyson fights at the Trump casinos. If we're being totally honest, all the brothers found him to be cool.
Right.
They found him to be very cool. So let's be clear.
Now, Stephen A. Smith normally does really well for us, right? I mean, because the guy is a conundrum. I talked about this the other day. Stephen A. Smith literally says everything that would allude to him being a conservative, but then at the very last moment, his spine fall out, and he go back to worried about the people of the melanin whom don't probably support or pay him anything. It's really the white man that's paying him and making him filthy rich, which he deserves because he's a very good commentator. However, this guy is allergic to staying consistent to a central theme. And one day, I'm saying this in front of the world, one day I'm going to sit down and talk to Stephen A. Smith one day. I don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe I'm going to run into him somewhere. Because I just want to know, bro, what do you really feel like? I know what you got to tell people in order for you to keep your stature in the melanated community. But, bro, in real life, one-on-one, bro, do you really believe that stuff you be saying? But anyway, he had another showing on Bill Maher, and I want y'all to watch it. Roll the clip.
All right, so here's the thing.
Right.
So there are all these, white boys are talking to me about Trump, and he's a terrible racist. And it's like, well, how could the black people vote for him more than each time? And, they didn't vote for him a lot more, but men did.
Right, men did.
Okay. And I said, you know what? I don't want to speak for all black people, and this is where I need to tell you.
Sure.
You tell me if I was wrong or right.
Okay.
I said, you know what I think black people think about Trump? Like, is he a racist? Yeah, but they think every white person is kind of a racist. And do they think that white people behind closed doors talk like Trump? Yeah, he's just a crazy person.
That last part right there. It's not that. It's not
he
that.
He just says it out loud
as black people. I don't want to speak for all black people, whatever.
No,
obviously I'm
because they're not all alike.
That's right, all. Exactly. But I will say this to you, as being a black man, you don't look at white people and automatically think they're racist. You automatically know they're different than you, that they think different than you, that they come from a different cultural background and experience things differently than they do. Right. So that second part is very, very important, because when you talk about how Trump talks, we're going like this. So that's the first time he talked like that, when he became president. Who the you think you playing with? We know better than that. We know better than that. We know that ain't the first time, and we know that the people that he was friends with all of these years, he talked just like that around y'all, and y'all didn't have no problem with it. Don't act like you have a problem
and
now.
Also had some genuine black friends and black folks who like him.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't know if I told you this.
Because it's complicated.
I don't know
Life
if I told you
is
this.
complicated.
I wouldn't call myself his friend by any stretch of the imagination back in the day.
Right.
But I've told this on many occasions. I said this in my recent appearance on The View and stuff like that. Trump and I were friendly.
Right.
Before he ran for president. He used to have these boxing matches, particularly during the Tyson fights at the Trump casinos. He would be at the Knicks games and stuff like that. And if we're being totally honest, all the brothers found him to be cool.
Right.
They found him to be very cool. So let's be clear, because he knew his sports. All right. He would say what he feel.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I said the other day. Stephen A. Smith, this is one thing that's kind of weird about black folks. I don't know if did I have a spiritual awakening? I don't get it. As a black man, I do not automatically think that white people are different than me. I do not believe that. I talk to a person first because a lot of times I have a lot in common with a lot of white people, just as well as I do black people. There is some commonality, though. So we can't avoid the commonality, meaning that you see a black person, you may assume a black person identifies with you, but I don't think black people should, and I don't think it's reasonable to just assume white people don't have no connection. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if you were in one city and your engagement was limited to that, maybe you'll feel that way. But like when I see somebody from Texas, I feel like me and that person may have a connection, whether they white, black, Hispanic or not. You from Texas. So then we have a connection. Somebody's from Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm like, well, maybe there's something there. That's the way I look at things more so than I look at the color of somebody's skin, given the fact that there's a lot of black people that I don't have nothing in common with. A lot of white people I don't have nothing in common with, but there are some that I do, and therefore the projection is not there. But when he go on and say, Donald Trump talks like this, and we know that wasn't the first time he talked like that. What Stephen A., talk like what? Are you alluding? Are you suggesting that Donald Trump is saying racist stuff, which we know you have no proof of? That's why you won't say nothing specific. And then you go on and say, black people think this way and hear Trump say XYZ. Similarly, this is why they don't vote for him as much as they vote for the Democrats. Yet your personal experience, you were friendly with Donald Trump. Your personal experience that all the brothers love Donald Trump. So what are you saying? You're saying on the one hand that he was talking like this and all this, and on the other hand, you're saying my personal experience with him and every other experience that I've seen before he became president, brothers love Donald Trump. Now, I'm telling you right now, and I haven't watched this full clip, but I'm telling you, he's not going to articulate at all what actually changed with Trump. How did you go from being friendly with Trump, everybody love him, to somehow, some way you wouldn't vote for him? How? Roll the clip.
Right.
He bucked the establishment, which we loved, and we gravitated to that. And obviously, he was
And
a
also,
billionaire,
he was a certain age.
And it
and
was
you
cool.
get a certain
It was cool.
understanding that white men of that age,
Right.
they're going to be a little grandpa. We don't say that anymore.
No,
but
that wasn't
like,
him.
is he really in his heart like hateful? No, I think
I've never.
I don't think his motivation is I don't like black people. I think his motivation is everybody must love me.
Thank you. And that's why, that's right there. What you just said, everybody must love me.
It's his narcissism. It's not his racism.
I have never called him a racist. I have never spoken about him that way.
That's
Ever.
interesting.
Not one time. Because I knew him beforehand.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Do not miss America Fest 2024. It's happening December the 19th through the 22nd at the Phoenix Convention Center right here in my home city. Get ready to hear from top speakers, including myself, Tucker Carlson, Matt Gaetz, whom I love. I met Matt Gaetz in person. That dude is just as cool as he is when you see him on the television. We got Don Trump Jr. and many more of the nation's top speakers. You'll connect with thousands of patriots, enjoy live concerts, and develop leadership skills that will energize you to make a difference in your community. Secure a spot today. Use promo code Tatum and get 25% off general admission at ampfest.com. See y'all at America Fest. Let's go. Clearly, he doesn't have a explanation of why he changed, or at least we didn't have it. I didn't hear him say anything of why he actually changed, and that's my problem with Stephen A. But we all know, and Bill Maher knows, and everybody who's honest with themselves, at the end of the day, when you go home and you look at the man in the mirror, you know for a fact that the only reason that there's a disdain or dislike for Donald Trump is because you are supposed to not like Trump. In the circles in which you travel in, the people in your circles are telling you that Donald Trump is XYZ and you don't want to buck against the system. It is very rare for people like me to exist. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too much more than what you guys already know about me, but a lot of people in my position, they stay quiet on certain things or they don't deviate only to a certain degree because they don't want to lose out on, or they're afraid that people are going to look at them a certain way, especially when you black. The worst thing that can happen to a black man is you go home with your family and everybody look at you as a sellout. And how does those things occur? If you were a Republican or you marry a white woman, a lot of times brothers go home and they look at you with the side eye when you bring that white girl home. Or you're a Republican, you're a sellout coon Uncle Tom. That's how black families look at their black siblings and friends, and family members that go on the other side. I'm not saying I'll do that. I don't believe my family treat me like that, but I don't know what people be saying behind my back. I know that not everybody like the fact I'm a Republican, and I ain't never heard nobody say nothing about me having a white woman. But hey, you think somebody ain't saying something about me and my family? You think somebody ain't like, oh, Brandon done moved off, Arizona got him a white woman. He ain't like us no more. He didn't move away from us. He didn't abandon us. I think so. And it could be me projecting. I think that some people in my family, at least one person and some part of my family thinks that Brandon done moved off. And why do you say that, Brandon? Because I remember when one of my cousins moved to New Mexico, and the feeling was he moved off and moved with some Mexican girl, and he don't want to have nothing to do with us no more. He then moved on to something different. He didn't left us behind. He want to be with other people now. And that's the sentiment that it felt like. I don't know what people were thinking in their mind, but that's just what happens, man. Somebody's looking at me in the family and saw the family picture that I shared in the family chat, and somebody circulate that around the family, and somebody who secretly don't like me anyway is looking at it like, he got a white girl. I knew Brandon was going to be that one. They always do that. When they go to college, they get with white women. When in reality, my first serious girlfriend was a black girl in college. And we went to church together and all kind of stuff. It just so happened I was foolish to a certain degree. Not that I should have stayed with her, because I think that me and her wasn't a good match after a while. But I was foolish because I went from her to somebody else that I definitely shouldn't have been with. But anyway,